Your decision to go no contact with your family of origin is 100% the right decision.
Welcome back to Difficult Childhood. I'm Jason, and I'm going to be joined again when we resume, because we're on a break right now. But in January, both Fallon and I will be back, and we're going to have full episodes. We're kind of doing some shorter episodes here during the holidays. And in particular, I ran into some content that really helped me take back some power from my Jehovah's Witness family. With the new, here's what I mean, with the new, this year's new shunning policy that Jehovah's Witnesses introduced, where you can still say a greeting and then basically something to control the person who is disfellowshipped or being shunned usually. The JWs can say a greeting and then basically say something to get you to come back, which in my opinion is more abusive than just leaving us alone. Now, my family never contact me because I am an apostate and they know that. But if your family has started to reach out to you this year, this might be for you. Uh, they do these little short, just reach out a little bit, and they don't ask you how you're doing. They don't have any interest in your life. They just want to let you know that you can still come back to their cult. And that's awful. So her video kind of helped me, and a friend of mine, Mike, he's actually been on the channel a couple times. The perspective for me kind of shifted that, oh, we can take the power and we can choose to not associate with them because they are engaging in an abusive shunning tactics. They are in an abusive religion. They are screwing their lives up. We're not. We're making healthier choices being outside of that cult. So with the holidays, and we see on social media and we see on commercials, very Hallmark looking families with warm hearth and home, and they're celebrating the holidays. Well, our family not only never celebrated the holidays, but they now they don't even talk to us during said holidays. So it can be kind of difficult. Anyway, this woman here that I wanted to share her content with you guys, this is Christina Pazsitzky. She is a stand-up comedian, among other things, but she's also a very accomplished businesswoman, and her family of origin is interesting. So here, let me go ahead and cue this up. Put my headphones on here. Here we go.
Your decision to go no contact with your family of origin is 100% the right decision. I wish somebody had made this video for me back in 2007 when I went no contact with my mother. So I'm here to tell you everything I have learned going no contact with my family of origin and some hot tips to help you get through the holiday season going no contact. Okay, so first of all, you might even be doubting your wanting to go no contact. You might be saying things like, I don't know, was it that bad? Maybe I'm being overly dramatic. Maybe I'm being like, maybe I'm the a-hole here. I'm here to tell you, if you're even doubting wanting to have a relationship with your parents or somebody in your family, it's probably because there's something awful there, especially with mothers and fathers. Children want to have a bond with their parents. So if you don't want that, something is wrong on a primal level. And we've been gaslit our whole lives, right? Like my dad would tell me like, oh, you don't have a problem. You don't, what you're crying for? You're depressed. I'm depressed. Like I've been told that I shouldn't have feelings about anything my whole life. So of course, when you have a strong feeling like wanting to get away from these people, you will doubt yourself. So number one, don't doubt these feelings. It's 100% valid. And if you're ever feeling like, gosh, I feel guilty, because that's going to be a huge one. You might feel guilty that you don't want to be around your family of origin. This thought always helped me, which was, would I ever let the mailman, a stranger on the street, a bus driver, whoever, talk to me the way my own parents would talk to me? No, hard pass. I don't even let strangers on the street treat me as crummy as the way my own family did. So whenever you're having doubts or maybe you're feeling guilty, just keep that in mind. Okay, and going into the holidays, expect that other people in your family will probably not understand your decision to go no contact. And maybe it's because they did not have the same relationship with this person that you're separating from, that you had a different relationship with your mother than, say, your aunt, your cousins, or whomever. So maybe they can't even understand why. But here's some hot tips, and here's a great comeback I had when people would say things to me like, "Oh my goodness, you're not talking to your mother on Christmas? Oh no, but she's going to be all alone." And I would go, "Yes, you're absolutely right. My mother is going to be all alone. In fact, here's her phone number. Why don't you call her and hang out with her if you like her so much?" Another thing you might feel over the holidays when you're no contact with your mother or your father is the guilt. Like, oh my gosh, they're alone for the holidays. How will they survive? Okay, here's one thing I've learned. If you're not there for that person to abuse, they'll just find another person to torture. It's just that simple. The minute I stopped being around for my mother to, berate me, criticize me, tell me I wasn't good enough, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I'm too this, I'm the most neglectful daughter. The minute I was like, okay, I'm done, she just found somebody else to leech onto and be awful to them. So don't worry. For some reason, these people are extremely resourceful, and they will find another supply, another person to treat just as poorly as they did you. So don't you feel guilty for leaving them. It's not your job to be somebody's punching bag. Oh, and another thought. Girls who go no contact with their mother suffer. I just think it's so against the forces of nature for a girl not to speak to her mother. And if you ever have doubts or like, oh my gosh, should I go back to mommy? And then mommy hasn't done the work. Because sometimes parents can do the work, get into therapy, change, get better, and you can have a relationship with them. That is totally possible, okay? Sometimes that's not possible. And when that's the scenario and you feel guilty for not being with that mom, I want you to watch the movie Grey Gardens. Anytime I felt bad about being no contact with my crazy, borderline schizophrenic mother, I would watch that movie. And poor Edith, I think that was her name, right? The daughter, I would just be like, oh my gosh, that totally could have been me, because it's really easy for daughters and mothers to become enmeshed. And listen, you gave these people the first 18 years of your life. Do not give them the rest of your life. You deserve that to build and create and be whomever it is you want to be without being abused and tortured and criticized. It's just terrible. Okay, one last thought. People who don't understand going no contact with their family will say things to you like, oh my gosh, you're not speaking to your mom or your dad. Well, one day they're gonna die and you're really going to regret it. My mom died in 2015. So far, no regrets. It's been the most healing, wonderful thing. Sadly, that's happened to me in this journey of getting better and healing from my childhood. So in my world, I have no regrets about going no contact. Now, is it sad that I had to do that? Absolutely. And will I always carry some level of sadness for never having had a normal relationship with my mom? Yeah, absolutely. And that's just my bag in life. And unfortunately, most of us have stuff that we carry around and deal with. But regret? Hell no. Hell no. And like I said, there's those rare occasions where parents do change and grow and become better, and like maybe you can have a relationship with them, but I will never, ever regret saving my life over being there for my mom to abuse and, to be her punching bag. That is not a life for you. So again, I just want to make this video for anybody that's like, I know the holidays are coming and it's a bummer when you can't be with your family of origin. I haven't been with my family of origin in, I don't know, 10, 15 years. But what I wanted to share with you is that your decision to go no contact, absolutely. If you feel it, do it. Just do it. And by the way, a normal, nice parent, like if my kids, when they grow up, were to be like, hey, mom, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Do you know what my reaction would be? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Have I hurt you in any way? I'm so sorry. What can I do to repair
Yeah,
this relationship? Now, when you split with a toxic parent,
that's
their
normal.
reaction is what? Defensiveness. You're a piece of shit. Why are you? You're abandoning me. No, no, no. So that should tell you something, that your decision is absolutely right. And these people are, in fact, abusive, because we don't always know. It's kind of a weird thing when you grow up in abuse. You don't really know you're being abused until you're out of it and you're healthy and you're in therapy and you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, oh, that was child abuse, or that was really fucking weird that my mom, wouldn't let me have friends over. Why? Because then they might see that our life is weird and I might tell somebody or whatever. So, zero regrets. Take care of yourself and make a holiday that makes sense for you. I now celebrate with my in-laws, whom I adore. I love them, and I'm just blessed to have my own family that I put my energy and my love into, and not my family of origin, who will suck that valuable energy and space that I'm now giving to my children to make their lives better. I know this video is super long. I wanted to get this out there before Thanksgiving, before I'm actually gonna leave and go for a week. But anyway, I hope you're having a great holiday. And thank you so much for watching these videos. I'm really enjoying making these. And okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, so a few things there. I want to get your all opinion on that. That was enormously helpful to me because the Jehovah's Witnesses, as I said, new policy is now that they can reach out. They can reach out some. I'll send a little text. Why don't you come back to Jehovah? All this high control, abusive BS, and they can do that now, and then that can be in a lot of ways for me worse. That would be worse than just being fully shunned, because it brings back the abuse. It brings back like I said before, it ruins my whole day. Even I think I had 4 or 5 days once, a couple years ago, when my mom had reached out, and then I feel awful. But I wasn't making the decision. I wasn't taking the control. And I wasn't saying, okay, well, as long as they are only reaching out to me to get me to come back to the cult, well, then no, I'm going to go ahead and go no contact with you. Now, shunning is an abusive policy. They're the ones that are doing it. It is a little bit ironic that I'm actually saying, yeah, I would shun my parents back. I realize I'm not trying to encourage anybody to do something that's abusive to their family. But if their family is only talking to you to control you and to try to get you to go back to their cult, it's something that doesn't need to be in your life. And I love Christina. She is going through the therapy and taking care of herself, and that's what I'm trying to do as well. And so, yeah, just taking that control back, I think, is a useful idea, because then we can really control what we put into our hearts, into our minds, and our sense of well-being. It's just so toxic to be dealing with people who are in a high control cult and conditionally love. So admittedly, it is extremely sad what she said. Her mother died. That is tragic. But also, yes, your mother and your father, those are serious, strong bonds. That's the way we're evolved, to be connected to our community. But I mean, to me, my family of origin are just some people that I happen to be genetically similar to. They're not real family to me. They're not real kind to me. They're awful. They're behaving terribly. And until they choose to change that, then I don't need to be part of that. And I like that she's engaged here with her radical acceptance. Yes, it is sad. Yes, it is awful. But she's taken the time. She's gone to therapy, and she's taken the time to focus on other things that are more healthy. that's just beautiful. I think that's amazing to build a new family, and it does take time. It takes a lot of time to build a new community and a new family. Now, she posted that in 2023, just in the middle of the holiday season, as you can tell. She posted, it went viral, and it had just a lot of success, but then it really resonated with a lot of people. First of all, she posted an update video this year. It's much more brief, and I'll share it here in a second. But I love the notion that it made me feel better, because I thought, okay, I'm this XJW freak. Nobody else has this problem. They do. There are other people who are former Mormons, other people who just came from abusive families, and it isn't even about the religion. It's just about going, you know what? I need to go no contact with these people until they choose to change. And as she acknowledged, some parents do go through the therapy and work to change. But my parents are showing zero sign of wanting to change and leave their abusive cult. So I can't help you. That's not my job. And so I just am not putting my energy into that anymore. But here's the second video that I thought was interesting. And she posted that just a couple of weeks ago, this new one.
Last year I made a video telling people to go no contact with abusive family members and not spend the holidays with family. And a lot has happened since I made those videos last year. I've been battling breast cancer, and thankfully, by the grace of God, I'm cancer-free and I've survived. But it was a very traumatic experience, and I have changed significantly as a person, and I've changed a lot of opinions that I have on things. That being said, I will fucking double down on the opinion that you should never, never, never spend fucking Christmas or Hanukkah or Thanksgiving or any of the holidays with shitty family members that are abusive, envious, angry, alcoholic, drug addicted, whatever it is. Why would you spend a joyful holiday with people who aren't nice to you? It doesn't make sense. And also, don't you dare do that thing where you spend Christmas Eve driving to one house and the next morning you wake up and then you go to the other parent's house and you're making everybody else happy because they're divorced. Well, whose fucking fault is it that they're divorced? It's their fault, not you. You shouldn't pay for that. Don't you dare. If you want to see them, God knows why, have them come to you. Don't go to them. Don't you dare sacrifice your peace and your joy for people that didn't treat you so great when you were a kid. So yeah, dude, fuck that shit.
I love her. Excuse the rough language. We usually don't have that on this channel, but I think it makes a good point, and I think she makes a brilliant point, rather. But her version, like she says, don't be driving to different family members' house, like maybe they're divorced, and you don't put all this energy into your family trying to appease everyone on the holidays. Well, our families are Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're not doing any of that holiday stuff. But I kind of took from that I'm not going to try to appease my family and look like I'm anything other than what I am. I am here. I have Christmas decorations all over my house. I have a boyfriend whom I live with and love, and we're in a happy, healthy relationship. It's just the best relationship. It's just been so positive for me. And I'm not going to pretend to be anything else for them. I used to, when I was first coming out, try to pretend that I was still going to meetings, or or even just pretend that I didn't disagree with their religion, or not even tell them if I was dating someone. I'm done. I'm not putting all that energy into that. And I think for me, seeing this video from Christina, from someone who was never one of Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a certain solidarity. There's a lot of other people out there who have this shared experience. It's not just in our community, not just in other religious communities. There are people who grew up with abusive family members, and they've made this choice to take the control and to say, no, I'm not letting you in my life unless you want to work on yourself and change. And I think that's a beautiful thing. That's a very healthy thing. And it's something I'm going to try to apply in my life And yeah, anyway, something I want to share with you guys. Hope you have a great day and that you're having a lovely holiday with your chosen family. And if you're still new and you haven't built up a new family yet, just remember it takes time and therapy if possible. But you can rebuild and have a nice, warm holiday with friends and family who genuinely love and care about you.